So good to see you. Welcome to KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Laura Papetti, and we begin with this. One suspect is expected in court this afternoon in connection to a deadly hit-and-run crash. That crash closed State Route 2 for almost 5 hours while police investigated. KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez is bringing us the very latest.
So Highway 2 is back open now, but earlier this morning, the highway was closed in both directions. Take a look at this video. This is of the roadblock earlier this morning. Spokane Police Department says that around 2:30 this morning, a woman was either walking in the middle of the road or at least crossing the road, and a car hit her. Then another car hit that same woman. Both cars left the area after the crash. When officers got there, they found the woman dead. And officers did some investigating, found some evidence, and were able to find both drivers of both cars. They ended up arresting both of them. One was a man and one was a woman. The woman is charged with vehicular homicide and the man is charged with felony hit and run. The road ended up being closed here for a couple of hours. Drivers had to go around detouring through Airport Way. But again, officers were able to reopen the road about 8 o'clock this morning, and now things are running smoothly again. In Spokane, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
The Idaho Supreme Court denied Brian Koberger's motion for permission to appeal a court decision. Koberger is the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students back in 2022. His defense filed a motion last week asking for permission to appeal the district court's decision not to toss his grand jury indictment. But the Idaho Supreme Court says it will not hear their appeal. Koberger will be back in court next month for a hearing to move his trial out of Latah County. Also, this is new information coming in about the door plug blowout on an Alaska Airlines flight that happened back in January. Turns out there were warning signs in the days leading up to that moment. We're learning that the airline was planning to pull the Boeing 737 MAX 9 for maintenance that very same night. Earlier in the investigation, we also found out that the plane had a pressurization problem before the door incident. And in fact, it had warning lights come on during 3 different flights. 2 of those were on January 3rd and 4th. Alaska Airlines told our sister station in Seattle, quote, "The maintenance plan and schedule for this aircraft was in line with all processes and procedures. Nothing required or suggested that the aircraft needed to be pulled from service." It is 12:03 right now. The Spokan Valley City Council reviewed its agreement with the Spokane County Animal Shelter, also known as SCRAPS, at the meeting last night. This comes after some Spokan Valley residents raised concerns that they believe SCRAPS is not following its contract with the city. One of those residents is Kimberly Polari. She fosters dogs and now runs a private dog park on 2 acres of her home. She claims dogs impounded from Spokan Valley aren't getting posted on SCRAP's website as outlined in its contract. She is also concerned that SCRAPS isn't consistently responding to reports of dogs running loose.
Yesterday, somebody contacted us and said, "Hey, we have a dog here. I don't know what to do with him. SCRAPS, I called SCRAPS and they won't take him."
Spokan Valley Mayor Pam Haley says SCRAPS is not violating its part of the contract, and the city is under a 20-year contract with SCRAPS and is currently 10 years remaining in that contract. All right, 12:04 right now. We're going to toss it outside. We have Thomas Patrick standing out in the sunshine, and he's going to let us know what to expect this afternoon. Hi, Thomas.
Hey there, Laura. It's sunshine now. In fact, just about 30 seconds ago, I just saw the sun come out from behind one of these clouds, but it is totally cloudy to our east. It is totally sunny and blue skies to our west. And look at Doppler radar. It's kind of a miserable day in Coeur d'Alene where it has just snowed all morning. Now, most of that snow hasn't stuck to anything, but it's not making it feel any better outside. I mean, look at the difference. This is just purely overcast skies. I've been watching this camera, just snow and snow and snow until about 15 minutes ago. Might just be a sprinkle, but again, the sunshine's out here in Spokane. So big difference in terms of conditions just on either side of the state line. If you ask somebody in Washington, they're getting lots of sunshine. If you're asking somebody in Idaho, they probably just got overcast skies at the moment. So just kind of depends on where you're at if you're getting the sun or the clouds today. If you get the sun, you're going to be closer to 50 degrees. If you're stuck in the clouds today, unfortunately, you might even be hard pressed to hit 40 for this afternoon. So big difference today, but not to worry. Lots of sunshine everywhere for the inland Northwest for the rest of this week. We're going to cover exactly how warm and spring-like the St. Patrick's Day weekend is going to be. Don't miss those details in just a few minutes.
All right, Thomas, thank you. It is official. The 2024 presidential election is going to be a rematch of 4 years ago. Last night's primary in Washington put former President Trump over the top, and he has now secured enough delegates to be the presumptive nominee for the Republican Party. This is for the third time in a row. Before Washington's results came in, President Biden also secured enough delegates to be the Democratic Party's presumptive nominee. So let's take a look at where Washington's results stand as of today. Biden secured Washington delegates with about 87% of the votes. There was a last-minute push on social media for Democrats to select the uncommitted candidate option to protest Biden's support of Israel's actions in Gaza. It did have some impact, with about 8% of voters in the state choosing to vote uncommitted.
And we're just thrilled that people felt that they could participate in our primary and be able to, utilize this process as a way to get their voices heard. And, we were happy to see that there was engagement in all parts of our party.
On the Republican side of things, former President Trump secured his nomination, getting 74% of the vote here in Washington. Nikki Haley held on to about 22%, with Republican State Chair Jim Walsh says the focus for Republicans in the state is now on those who didn't vote for former President Trump or those who didn't vote at all.
Trump is going to continue to talk about immigration and border security and the general economy and crime. Essential basic policy issues that I think will talk to that large middle.